Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Ram from my RamsTheNameCom. I'm back with another toy review, and this is on the Marvel Diamond Selects Ghost Rider action figure. This is more of a statue than an action figure, but you know, whatever. You got this little diorama here that shows the hands of the dam, and hands of the dam break too easily. This one hand broke when I took out the package, so that's fantastic. But I can glue this thing. This thing is gluable. Look at this. It's a little stump. There's no, fracture or anything like that. You can just, put some glue on the bottom of this thing, put it in, and it's good as new. Sort of good as new, but good as new. I just gotta look online for some pictures of this diorama because I want to make sure I get this rotation of the hand correct. I just don't want to slant it too much. I don't want to, rotate it here and say, hey, it's good enough, and it's not good enough. I want it exact as it should have been. So I just gotta, look at pictures and hope for the best. I rotate it enough, and I don't put on a slant or anything like that when I glue it in. So yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the figure itself. It's an amazing paint job. This is a great Ghost Rider classic for Johnny Blaze, because Johnny Blaze isn't the first Ghost Rider. He's like the third Ghost Rider. There's Rick Fury Ghost Rider from was it Magazine Enterprise, and Marvel Comics bought Ghost Rider from Magazine Enterprise, and then brought him back as a character named Carter Slade. And Carter Slade was called like the Ghost Rider. He was a Phantom Rider. He was not an actual skeleton demon or anything like that. He was just a vigilante who wore a white costume and pretended to be like a ghost. And yeah, that was Carter Slade. And then Carter Slade sold like garbage, so Marvel decided to reboot Ghost Rider again and then turn him into Johnny Blaze, the guy with the skeleton and stuff. But before him, there was Carter Slade Ghost Rider, who was not a demon or anything like that. He was just a vigilante who had a white costume called Ghost Rider. And then before him, there was Rick Fury, who was also a vigilante who wore a white costume, and he was called Ghost Rider. So yeah, that's the fun history of Ghost Rider. He's not, a Marvel original character. He was bought by Marvel, similar to how, Blue Beetle and the Question were bought by DC Comics. DC Comics didn't make the Question. DC Comics didn't make, the Blue Beetle. They just bought the rights to the Blue Beetle and the Question. But Blue Beetle eventually got its own reboot, similar to Ghost Rider, where they called him modern Blue Beetle, who has like an Iron Man-esque suit. That was like an alien, and the robot suit is like an alien parasite that only this one Blue Beetle guy can handle, because anyone else who gets a suit is completely under the control of the suit, and he's like a zombie now. But only this one Blue Beetle guy, he's like the chosen one. He can take care of the suit and stuff. Anyway, let's talk about Ghost Rider. We'll talk about Ghost Rider, and here it is in all of his blue and orange glory. It's a great figure. I love the paint job in this figure. This is amazing. If you love the classic Johnny Blaze design, then you're going to be a big fan of this figure. But with that said, the articulation on this figure is not very good. The hands and the fingers do not bend or anything like that. You just rotate them, and you can bend the elbow a bit, and that's about it. You can rotate the arm too, and you can rotate out, rotate in, then same thing with the other arm, rotate out, rotate in, bend at the elbow, rotate the wrist, the hand, and all that stuff. You can slightly tilt the head, slightly, look at that. I mean, it's good enough, but that's it. You can't, you can't rotate his head 360, you only can go this far and do this, which is okay for what it is, it's okay. And then for the legs, you can rotate out like this, and you can bend at the knee, and you can rotate the foot a little bit, and that's it. And think about the legs too. I mean, you can also rotate at the hips too, like that, if you want him to stand like this, so you can have his butt facing where his head should be, and that's fantastic. Look at that. Why would you want that? Why would you even give that as an option? Why? But they did. They did. But yeah, for the feet, I should mention that the right leg broke pretty much. I mean, it didn't break off completely, but I mean, it's loose. Look at this. It's loose. Look how loose that is. I'm not bending the leg or anything. I'm just moving it up a bit, and it's doing that. Meanwhile, look at this other leg, and it does this. Nothing. Absolutely no bends. No bends whatsoever. It's slightly jiggling, but that's it. But over here, a lot of jiggling. That's very loose. That's a very loose joint. Isn't that amazing? But other than that, it's a great figure. It's a great paint job. And it's a pretty good statue. It's not a good action figure, but it's a good statue to have. It's a good It's a very good diorama. It's a very good figure, paint job. But with that said, there's a Achilles heel to the diorama, and that's this. Check this out. So here, there's a couple of pegs. You got one peg here, and you got one peg here. The problem with the pegs are that they're not spaced out correctly, because the legs, you have to, when you try and put the pegs into the feet, because the pegs go into the heels of the action figure, but when you try to do this, you gotta pull the legs a bit and then put it on the other peg. Pulling the legs. So you're slightly, pulling his legs. You're making him do the splits, and that's something that the figure is not supposed to do. You're putting strain on the figure when you do that. And the other thing too is that the peg right here, the peg that's underneath the hand, the hand of the damned, the one peg right here, you cannot fit the foot on the peg. You can fit the foot with the hand, and the hand can hold the foot in place, I guess. But the foot, it's impossible to get the foot onto that peg, because the peg is too in between the... the peg is too far in between with the hand, and the hand is too close to the ground. So you can fit your foot into the peg. Sure, you can fit his foot into the peg. Into the hand. But the peg... Let me show you this. So as you can see, the foot is in the hand, and this is as far as it goes. But the peg is not at the heel. The peg is in between the palm of the foot. So the peg only can go up to heel. Right here. Right. So you see this? This is the heel. This is where the peg is supposed to go. But the peg can only fit right here. Isn't that amazing? That's as far as the peg can get. Right here. So it cannot latch onto this foot, which is not 100% a problem, because, like I said before, the hand does a pretty good job at holding the foot into place. And the other peg, you can just snug the heel of the other shoe onto, and it'll be fine. But like I said before, with the splits, because you gotta split his legs a little bit in order to fit on both pegs. One on the hand and one on the peg. Yeah, you gotta split it a bit, and it's a little, it's gonna loosen up the feet like this one, because this foot is loose, but it's gonna make this even more loose when you do that, and it's also gonna cause, strain on the legs or at the hips of the figure, because you're forcing it to bend when it shouldn't be bending, But other than that, this is a very good paint job. This is a very nice looking figure in your collection. My only complaint about the sculpts, or with the design of this diorama and the figure itself, is that Ghost Rider doesn't have anything to hold. I would love it if Ghost Rider can have like a lassoed chain that's on fire that just goes into this hand, and you can see it going up like this, and it's a loop-de-loop right here. It'll be great. I would love that. It'll be a nice design for the statue. But maybe it would be more expensive if they did that. Maybe it would be just the same price. I don't know. Because this statue, as is, it's a $40 statue. You pay $40 for the base with this figure. And Ghost Rider is known for his bike, but, you can't ask for the bike, because the bike would make it like a $100 figure, Because there's going to be a lot of details you got to put into that bike, unless you only do like half the bike, or unless you make sure that the bike is like some kind of a small diorama of like the bike, as like the bike is going off a lamp or some, as in the bike is like coming out of hell, and you see like this crack on the bottom of the earth in the pavement, and only half of the bike is seen coming out of the pits. That would be a cool diorama that they could have done, but they didn't do that. But that would have been nice, but But yeah, this diorama is cool too. It's like a landscape from hell with some hands from the dam coming out from the lava pit, which is a pretty nice detail. I love it. But it would have been nice. It would have been a little bit better if you know, there's like a diorama of a. It would have been a little bit better if this diorama was just like a pavement, like a street pavement, with cracks coming out, and the bike is coming out of the pits, like it's coming out of hell or something like that. That would have been nice. It would have been great, but they didn't do that, and I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay for what it is. So with that said, let's do the final verdict for this toy. Well, I mean, it's not much of a toy. It's more of a statue. But let's say, out of 10, I'll say this is a this is about a it's an 8 out of 10 statue. I mean, it's not much of an action figure. You can't do much with it, but you can pose it like this, and you can say like, "Hey, come to hell," or something like that. A vacancy in hell or whatnot. See? Pretty cool, isn't it? And you can pose like that and just leave it on a shelf. But yeah, it's a posable statue. It's not much of an action figure. It's more of a posable statue. So if you want something that's nice, a great representation of the classic OG Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, then this is it. It looks nice on your shelf, but you can't play with this thing because there's not much you can do with it. What can you do with it other than, you know, bend it slightly? It's more of a posable statue. But then again, why would you want to, you know, play with your action figures unless you're a kid or something like that? You're more likely to, you know, just pose it once and then call it a day, and then maybe the next month you look back at the statue and say, "Nah, I want to pose it in a different pose," and then you can do it again. It's like with this Ghost Rider figure, there's about like 8 different good poses you can do with it. Not too many good poses, but it's good enough. 8 is good enough for the amount of poses you can do with this. So while it's a tiny amount, it's good. It's good for what it is. You can do whatever you want with it with a limited amount of posability. So yeah, it's a 7 out of 10 action figure, and I'm gonna glue this damned arm from the dam of the hell pit, hand of doom. I'm gonna glue it one day. So put it like that and call it a day. But it's supposed to be like this right behind him. It's like this. It's gonna fall off. But here, see? Supposed to be like that. But anyway, let's do a rotation of the diorama and call it a day. So here it is. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 and then on the bottom of this, you got this numbering code that says 130925KK, and it's made in China. It's made in China, and by Diamond Select Comic Distribution, the UK. Great. So let's look at the Ghost Rider figure once again, and then I'll rotate it. Here's the head. And there you go. Closer look. As you can see, the details and the texturing on the paint job, it looks like it's from a 1970s comic book. Look at that. Look at that ink job. Look at that. Look at that black and blue shading. It's fantastic. Well, anyway, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed the review of this Ghost Rider Diamond Select, Diamond Select Marvel Ghost Rider action figure. I hope you enjoyed the review. And let me know in the comments below if you want me to continue making more toy reviews in the future. Maybe not, I don't know, I like pie. But yeah, goodbye. See you later. Hope you enjoyed the video. And, yeah, I gotta glue this thing. I keep pushing it off and pushing it off, but one day, I swear, one day I'm gonna glue this thing. But I just don't have time yet. One day still, I will glue it, but just not now. I just don't got the time for it, but one day I will. So, goodbye. See you later. Hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.